Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another reading. Yes, you read the title right. Are we going to war? That's what we're going to do today. So it's probably my most requested reading of all time. I know we're in a scary time right now and everyone's like worried what's going on. Our government is going crazy and there's so much chaos. So hopefully you guys can be kind in the comments or I will turn them off. I'm going to do my best to get an answer here, but if I don't get a direct answer, I'm sorry, I'm trying. Remember, these readings are all alleged for interpreters only, and let's get started. If you guys enjoy the content, please join the YouTube members. There's a join button down below. You get access to a lot more exclusive content. Okay, so let's look at America, the world, war. That's weird. Clarification, please. Oh. I think that we might fund some things. So the Lover's card is about allyship. So that's about America's allies. Oh, by the way, probably should have said I was doing this in the first position, like the first person position of America / Trump. So the Lover's card is about allies because that's about things you're connected to. And the Ten of Pentacles reversed, the King of Pentacles is upright, and the Hangman. It's like I scratch your back, you scratch mine. So I definitely see us giving money or opportunity or funds or something towards some of our allies. I don't necessarily know if I feel like there's a direct involvement, just because Lover's card is like you're lumped into something and you struck a deal almost, like, so it's like you have to do this because we did this for you. So it's more like a barter or a trade, and it has to do with like giving resources to someone or something. Maybe it's land or time or effort or money, I don't know, but there's like giving a funneling of resources. The King of Pentacles and the Hangman is reverse too, which is like, again, that's like you have to do this like you said you would. Hey guys, sorry, editor Ant here for a second. I filmed this a few hours before the strikes on Iran were in the news. So looking back at this part where I'm trying to figure out if we have a direct involvement, it's kind of eerie because I say it's more like a barter or trade and it has to do with giving resources to someone or something, maybe land or time or effort. Land, time, and effort, kind of exactly what happened. So I had the pieces but didn't put it together perfectly, but that kind of describes what happened. And so it's a little bit eerie watching this back. I'm like looking back at old Ant like, oh, you have no idea what you're seeing, but you're seeing it. So I know some people are probably gonna be confused based on the timing of when I post this, because I'm posting this after the news, but I filmed it before. The weird thing is that I kind of see something a little bit. Yeah, so the Tower is reversed, which is about trying to prevent or rebuild from the destruction. So actually, funnily enough, I do think that America is trying to avoid war, at least the government in Trump's administration, stuff like that. I do think that they're trying to avoid war. I don't know if they'll be successful, but they are, in their minds, they are trying to avoid it. The problem is that there are things that were set in place before for many years that they are required to kind of like give back to. So think of this as like, you know, America's allies for years and years and years, they're required to do certain things because that's the way it's gone. What's interesting though is the Ten of Pentacles says that there's some sort of issue with the amount of resources America can give. I wouldn't be surprised if it has to do with the fact that America literally, like, we're obviously struggling right now. And I'm wondering if we don't have the ability to give what we used to be able to give. Because there's some sort of like cutting off, like, listen, we told you we were going to do this, but we can't do all of that. So there is a little bit of pushback and resistance from America from supporting their allies because they can or don't want to spend the money or resources. So I do think that our allyship is going to be pissed off at us in terms of the global political scale, whatever the words are. But like basically our allies, the Lover's card would be allies. So it's our allies are going to kind of be pissed at us. I think it's something along the lines of they want 100% and we can only give like 40 or maybe even 20. So there's like this issue with like us not following through, but we can't and we don't want to, so to speak. Now, the Queen of Cups is upright, which is us. The Queen of Cups is emotions. And the Nine of Cups is reversed, which is not getting what we want. So that's the world. So it definitely feels like everyone is at a standstill. No one is really happy. The Nine of Cups is not a great sign because that means no one's getting what they want. And when no one gets what they want, they feel like there's nothing to lose. And the Queen of Cups is about us, which is about emotions. And so I feel like, let me get clarification on that real quick. Damn it. Yeah, the King of Cups is reversed. I feel like, you know what's interesting? Okay. Ace of Swords is regrets and Nine of Pentacles is reverse. There is this feeling of Okay, I'm going to say something, and, you know, all legend for interpreters only, subject to change. The world doesn't see America and America's involvement as that important, so to speak. Let me see if I can phrase this correctly. This to me is like them seeing America as a joke. So for them, they are, I will say this, our participation in anything that's going on when it comes to, you know, disagreements between countries and things like that, or war or anything like that, I don't think it has as much of an impact as it used to. Because this is them seeing, oh, you guys aren't going to like when I say this, but I got to be honest. This is them seeing us as a puppet on strings. Because it's about other people, and then this is like a regret. So it's like, I regret dealing with you. I'm detached from you. And this is also a missed opportunity. Basically, like, there's a feeling of like America's kind of a puppet, and puppets are going to be pulled on their strings. So wherever America goes, we know someone else is behind it pulling their strings. So I don't know if I feel like the impact that America has on this is as significant as they're going to try and pretend it is. I'm not sure what people are going to say or what the media is going to say or whatever, but I can tell you, for me, allegedly, behind closed doors, America's not taken serious. So it's like whatever America does, I don't think it's as impactful as you might initially think. Like, they see us as puppets. Yep. 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 Look at that Two of Swords, the Seven of Cups reversed, and the Eight of Wands. They have long since separated themselves of the idea of America being able to make good decisions, the right decision, being a power, you know. The Eight of Wands says things have changed. And the Seven of Cups is reversed too, which says that they put their eggs in another basket. So there's another country here that I feel like has more of an impact and persuasion over war and things of that nature. There's another country here that is a little bit more powerful when it comes to either keeping the peace or disturbing the peace. And that country's impact on this war has a lot more weight than ours. Whatever we do doesn't matter as much. We're not in control anymore. We're not like the strongest power. It's just not. That's just not the case anymore, unfortunately. You know what's interesting? The Hierophant's upright, the Emperor is reversed, and the Five of Cups. Whoever this other country is, or whatever, maybe it's more than one country, but whatever countries are seen as powerful, and it's not America, but I do see, I think it's two. I see, because the Two of Swords is there, the Lover's card makes me think there's two. The leaders of those countries do not want war. The Emperor is reversed, the Hierophant's upright, and the Five of Cups, which says that they're actually not interested in war. I feel like they feel like they're winning already. There's this, I see victory lap in my mind's eye. So that means that they feel like they're winning already, and they're utilizing other things. They're utilizing other things to keep their status quo. So, you know, the fall of America has allowed them to rise. And when they rise, they're looking and they're like, war is only going to make things worse. Like, there's a feeling of like, how do I word this? There's a feeling of like, I would like people to be afraid of me. It's like, because, okay, I'm going to tell you the metaphor I see. Someone puffing up their chest. So it's like, I want people to be afraid of me and think that I want war, but I don't actually want war because I don't need it. I've already been successful in maintaining my power outside of war using other tactics. Yep. The Ace of Pentacles, I already have the money and the power. The Strength card, I want to hold on to it. The Three of Cups, if we go to war, it destroys the ecosystem. So for them, they're like, yeah, there are some places that are weaker and smaller, but we need those weaker and smaller people because they keep me afloat. And if we take out the weaker and smaller people, it equalizes everyone else at the top, and I have to fight for my top spot again. That's the feeling. So it's interesting to see that, like, America is not really able to make a power decision. They're kind of like being pulled or puppeted with strings. That's the metaphor. And then I'm seeing two other powerful countries being like, we don't want this because we have the potential to lose our position again. Not to America, but to other countries. So there's this feeling of like, I would actively like to avoid war because I'm actually enjoying what's going on right now and how things are. They feel like they've utilized other tactics other than war. There's other tactics they're utilizing that benefits them that the war would just disrupt. Because look at that 7 of Wands, the 8 of Cups reversed, and 10 of Cups. It's like, no. I've already been victorious amongst other things, and I've avoided crisis before. Interesting. I'm wondering. Yeah, so the mindset of these two power position countries, I don't know. I'm not really super well educated with all the politics and stuff, but I can tell you, whatever this is, their opinion is feeling like the only people that would want war are the people at the bottom of the totem pole. The Death card, the Four of Swords, and the Page of Cups. So like for them, they're like that. This is nuisance to me. This is like the only people that want that are the people all the way at the bottom. We don't want that. We're not going to benefit from this. Because the Four of Swords and the Death card here with the Page of Cups, I'm going to tell you what I see. It's not that obviously they're worried about casualties and stuff in their own countries and things like that when it comes to war, right? War is a serious topic. But what they're more concerned about, and this is kind of a little sociopathic, but it's what I see. I mean, politics are crazy for a reason, but they're more worried about what people will uncover during a war than the loss that will happen. Because to me, when I look at the Death card and the Four of Swords, it's like we have secret plans. We have secret things that we're doing that will end up getting accidentally exposed during a war because all bets are off. There are ecosystems in place that are hidden, and there are things that are being built and things that are being worked on that are hidden. And they feel like if we go to war, not only could they be destroyed, but their scheme or plans will be exposed. So I guess the short version of this reading and the answer is that America is doing what America has to do because it seems like they're being pulled on strings. And there are two major countries and there's two major entities here that are trying to avoid this, who actually are power positions because of selfish reasons. So for them, it's like, well, my reasoning is selfish, but it'll help humanity. It's like I get to look like a savior. I get to look like I'm trying to prevent things, but really I'm doing it for selfish reasons, which I feel like that's politics in general. But the likelihood of us going to war, I mean, it really depends. I mean, the Star's upright, the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Swords. I can tell you this, they will utilize whatever they can to prevent the war. They will do everything in their power to prevent the war. In fact, they would even use things like exposing, because the Queen of Swords reverse and the Star, which is like if I have to use the social media, if I have to use the press, if I have to use propaganda, whatever I have to use to make sure that we avoid this, because this is not good for me. I need to remain in my position of power. I think the only way we go to war is if whoever America is kind of like chained to and being pulled by, if they go rogue. But I will tell you this, even if we did go to war, I'd be shocked if it was very long, just because it's like, I don't see other entities wanting to do this. I don't see the other countries wanting this. I don't. In fact, I see them being like, if we have to step in, it's going to be a lot different than you expect. So you know how like I saw that imagery of someone popping up their chest and being scary? That's plan A. Plan B is to lead with kindness. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we could try plan A, where we can be like puff up our chest and threaten our space and be territorial. But there's also plan B in their back pocket, which is that, I mean, if we lead with kindness and we lead with empathy and you know, obviously it's not authentic, but if they project that to us, then then look at the comparison of us trying to bring peace, harmony, and calmness with the comparison of, say, America, which is just like, let's get them. You know what I mean? Like they're being strategic and they're being smart about their image, because it seems like they see America as like sloppy and like being pulled by others. So I know I'm talking in abstract ideologies, but that's what I see, and it's really difficult for me to get pinpointed information. But I can tell you that there's definitely other people at bay that are trying to prevent this war at all costs. and will do everything in their power to prevent it. Do I think that America wants to go to war? No. No. America just has debts to pay and a back to scratch because theirs was scratched. So there are certain things that are out of their hands. And I do think that they're going to fight back a little bit, but there's not much America can do. America is too weak. America is very weakened. So there's just not much that they can do to kind of prevent this. You're going to kind of have to look at other countries here. So the general consensus is that everybody wants their hands off of this thing, though. I will tell you that. I feel like every time I tap into something like this, it's like everybody wants their hands off this. Like, this is your problem. You deal with it. And yes, I know we have allies, but at the end of the day, y'all got to deal with y'all's problems. Like, that's the vibe. So it's like one of those things where it's like, this is complicated. This is complicated because I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions. A lot of people, you know, are going to have one way or the other. But there's just this feeling of like, you want to know what the overarching feeling is, especially for America, but I think other countries too, is that our issues are so bad at home, we don't have the capacity to impact anything else at the moment. And it's almost like sometimes other people can take advantage of the fact that, you know, America's weak right now. It's like, yeah, we can't even, I mean, look at the state of our country right now. It's really bad. It's like we can't even remain peaceful in our own country. How the hell can we keep peace amongst everyone else, right? It's like, it's one of those things. And it's like people are taking advantage of that. Other people are in bigger positions of power because of that. But it's really difficult because it's like, I know a lot of people are like, well, we should prevent this or we should prevent that. We should step in. But the problem is that they're taking advantage of the fact that they're weak and we can't. So that's kind of the general consensus of this is like, there's only so much that we can do when our home is in shambles right now. Like our entire government is in shambles. I mean, look at what's going on with all of the craziness right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's very difficult for us to have the impact that I think we've seen previously with America. You know, we're just not as strong as we used to be. So hopefully this helped you a little bit, give you a little bit of idea of what's going on behind the scenes. Again, I know everyone is going to have their opinion. Please be respectful. And I'm praying to God that we do not go to war. So I'm going to leave it there. Please don't come for me or anybody else in the comments like this. This is just a tarot reading. I need to remind you, this is for entertainment. Okay, this is just for entertainment. Just enjoy the video or don't, and then keep it moving. You don't have to take this video too much to the heart. You don't have to take this video that seriously. Like, relax, chill. It's just tarot cards. Like, this is entertainment. It's for fun. So just relax, okay? Please. All right. Join the YouTube members link down below. Until next time, good luck. Oh my God. Dude, please be nice. Please be nice to each other.